Cliff, Siva, welcome. Cliff, to you first, just give me a broad overview of where California stands at the moment with energy transition and climate action.
California's always defined itself as a leader on clean energy and climate. Even though we're only 1% of the world's GHG emissions, we want to set examples for the rest of the world with programs that are replicable, affordable, and that break the link between economic growth and GHG emissions. And we've done that. Right now, we're leading the country in electric vehicle deployment. About 60% of our electricity sources comes from clean energy. We have close to 4 gigawatts of battery storage deployed on our grid. And we're moving very rapidly to continue to decarbonize the rest of the economy. We have a tall order. We have to move faster, but we're on the way.
Yeah, just to pick on what Cliff has been saying, much of California's climate policy is predicated on electrifying large swaths of the economy, which means we really need to underpin that with a broad, reliable, clean electricity grid. And one of the most important elements of that transition then would have to be equitable. That's something that California is working on. And as Cliff mentioned, one of the most important things that California can do, given its resources, is really become a model to move forward, a scalable model for the world.
Cliff, why is equity and a just transition so important for the state, and how are you practically doing that?
Well, it's critical. We can't leave large swaths of the economy behind. We need to decarbonize everything, and the disadvantaged communities have suffered the most right now from air pollution. They will suffer the most from climate change impacts. They are the ones who have been least able to access our clean energy programs. So we're very consciously directing substantial portions of our clean energy investments to underserved communities. And we've been a model for what the federal government is doing through their Justice 40 initiative, where they're allocating or trying to allocate 40% of their investment to underserved communities.
Yeah, it's important to note, right? California has almost 40 million people. It's a very diverse population, but it's also home for more than 100 federally recognized tribes. And one of the most important things is as the economic growth in California has not always come equally to everybody. And it's extremely important that we recognize the past and give voice to everybody to really shape and democratize the future of the energy system. And it's an important element of how we do things in California.
If you said California was a model, what do you think states and other federal governments can learn from your experience?
Well, several things. Our programs have always been grounded in science and data. We've been doing climate change research as long as the federal government has, and we do our own climate assessments, scientific-based assessments, and our statutes and regulations are based on data. We've also proven that regulation drives innovation and creates markets. Our renewable portfolio standard, first adopted in the early 2000s, has been a model for other jurisdictions. There are now 30 renewable portfolio standards around the country, and now our ambition to 100% clean electricity is being followed by others. Likewise, our zero-emission vehicle mandate, which preceded others, has created a market, and now many of the auto companies around the world are going electric.
And we have to just add to that, the next big things are the vehicle-to-grid integration. The more electric vehicles we have in California, how do you bring them into a model to support the grid, and how do you scale that across the world is an important element.
I was going to ask how you see public-private partnerships and the private sector generally in this sort of energy transition move to climate action.
It's critical. It's absolutely critical, and California does a really good job. We have a number of colleagues here from the private industry in California. Right around here is Southern California Edison, one of our biggest utilities in California. We are all working together. It's important that we align on the vision. Even though there are multiple pathways on getting to the ultimate goal, the vision is something that we all agree on, given the foundation of science and agreement on climate change in California.
And they've seen what the future is, that there's a decarbonized future, and they want to roll in it. And so they've been very constructive in helping to figure out how to change their business model to align with what we need in California. Electric vehicles is a great example. EVs are among the top exports in California right now. We have a whole electric vehicle ecosystem in California, and we're bringing the genius of Silicon Valley to bear on decarbonization.
Cliff, Siva, thanks so much.
Thank you.